Well, good evening. Welcome to When Wisdom Talks. I'm Alisha.
And I'm Kadesha.
And I'm Naomi, and welcome to When Wisdom Talks, another Thursday family, and we are all here together, excited to have you all tune in. Thank you to all of those who tune in every single Thursday on the regular. Please understand that we love you and we appreciate you and we thank you. And to all of our newcomers, welcome. Please leave a comment in the chat and let us know if this is your very first time tuning in, because we want to let you know that we hear you, we see you. Leave your comment in your chat because we love you and we want to thank y'all so much for tuning in. As you know, this episode and every other episode is brought to you by Be Inspired Global and When Wisdom Talks. And as always, we have to let you know what our mission is, and that is to empower you, yes, all of you, to live better and wiser through engaging discussions, fun activities, and inspiring special guest interviews. And so, with that, I am going to go ahead and turn it on over to Kadesha.
Thank you, my dear. So this month, have you been taking notes? Our theme this month has been Plan for Success. So this week, we are specifically celebrating National Plan for Vacation Day. And so this week, tonight, we want to help you plan for vacation. And so we hope to inspire you to not only dream, because we always do dreams, right? We always have a dream about where we want to go, and we may have it even have pictures on our vision board, but we want to help you actually plan your next vacation. And so I don't know about you, I don't know where you're watching us from, but here we have snow every other day, it seems like. If it's not snow, it's the other precipitation, which is rain. I just want to get near some sun. Do I have anybody else who wants to get near some sun? So tonight we just want to bring some fun in our sun. We're gonna make some sun tonight, okay? So we want to help you plan your next vacation. So we want you to actually talk to us, really, because we want to get some ideas on where we want to travel to this week or this week. Okay, Jesus. Okay. Yeah, maybe this week. Okay, I speak it. This year. How about that? So let us know where you have been recently or where you plan on going. But sit back, relax, enjoy the show as we take you on a fantastic voyage. As always, we're here to empower you, as Naomi said, and we just want to give you some wisdom nuggets as it relates to planning your vacation. But before we get into the show, as always, I have to ask you to do a few things for us. Please, please, please share. It takes 2.5 seconds to share the show. If you are watching via Facebook, there is a share button in the left-hand corner. If you are on YouTube, there's a little arrow, I believe, that you can share, copy the link and share it with some of your friends. So make sure you are doing that. And hey, to our YouTubers, we do appreciate you. We know that you are tuning into, and we want to hear your comments. Don't let Facebook outdo you with the comments. Go ahead and talk back to us in the YouTube chat box as well. So follow us if you're not already on Instagram at When Wisdom Talks. Of course, subscribe to our YouTube channel, When Wisdom Talks. When you are leaving your comments, if you could do hashtag When Wisdom Talks so we can get that trending in social media land. As always, we want to remind you that we have 3 empowerment stops every week. So Monday nights, we have a pop-up prayer call at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Wednesday morning, we have our empowerment prayer call at 6 a.m. We are feeding you Bible for breakfast. And then Thursday night, every Thursday, 8 p.m., we're right here with you. So we want you to, again, tell somebody, tell a friend, tell a foe, whoever, tell somebody so they can be inspired and encouraged as well. If you need to contact us, connect with us, if you want us to or invite us out to one of for a speaking engagement, you can do so by emailing us at info@wisdomonthewall.com. If you want to partner with the When Wisdom Talk show, if you want to be a guest or anything like that, send us an email, info@wisdomonthewall.com. If you would like to know more about our nonprofit, Wisdom on the Wall Inc., you can do that at wisdomonthewall.com. All right, I got all the announcements out of the way. I'm sending it over to Miss Alisha.
All righty. Thank you much. Thank you much. Well, this is our girl. What's your story with a twist segment? This is the time where we basically share what we've done over this past week since the last time we hung out with you all. And the twist is that we want you to share with us as well. So maybe you went somewhere new, or maybe it's a place that you frequented always, but you just had a really enjoyable time and you want to share that. Maybe you tried a new exercise routine, maybe saw a good movie. I don't know, whatever it was that made you smile. Share that with us. So while we're sharing, go ahead and type away in the chat and we will be checking it out because as Kadesha mentioned, as it pertains to vacations, we're interested. We're also interested in the things that you're doing on a daily because we may try to do it as well. So with that, I'll go ahead and kick it off. And my girl wish your story tonight is about this new TV show called Abbott Elementary. Now, I haven't been able to catch it when it regularly comes on. So over the weekend, I was doing some paperwork and I was watching it on demand. And it's new, so it was only about 3 episodes that was there, and it's actually about sort of a school, an elementary school in Philly. And actually, the woman who produced and wrote it, the actual show, her name is Quinta Brunson, and she's from Philly. So she's a native Philadelphian. And I just so love the story because I've shared before, one of the things when I was growing up, I always said I wanted to be was a teacher. Now, I ended up becoming a teacher from the standpoint of finances now, but it was all by way of engineering and so on and so forth. But the point of the matter is that this show is hilarious. I learned a new term. I was watching an interview of the writer slash director, and she also is one of the teachers in the show. So she wears many hats. But I learned a new term, a mockumentary, where it's one of those shows where the actors are kind of speaking to you. I didn't know, I've seen this happen before, but I didn't know the technical term, but it's kind of like they're speaking to you as if, you know, you're in their mind. And if you ever watch shows like, I think it's The Office, Modern Family, shows like that, that's what a mockumentary is. So it really is following these teachers who really love the teaching. They're dedicated, they're passionate, some a little more than others because they're first year, second year teachers. And unfortunately, they're in a school where the classes are overcrowded. Your typical public school, unfortunately, overcrowded and very few or no resources when it comes to school supplies. But it is just so hilarious to just listen to these teachers and how they're interacting and how they're dealing with the kids. It is just, I can't tell you how much I laughed. But what I really enjoyed about the interview was she was saying that she created the show not just to make you laugh, which is definitely doing, but she wanted people to see, and this was even before the pandemic. The whole idea of the show came about before the pandemic. She wanted people to understand that teachers have a life outside of school as well. So it'll be interwoven throughout all of the shows, stories that people are dealing with, whether it's relationships issues, somebody getting divorced, somebody's dating somebody and their issues with that, all things that we all deal with, and the teachers are. But the one episode, and I'm not going to go too far into it, but oh my God, the first year, I think this is her first year teaching second grade, and her desire to really help, you're just like, oh my God, just stop. But it's so funny because of what she wants to do, because she's so passionate. And Cheryl Lee Ralph also is one of the teachers. She plays one of the veteran teachers, and just the dynamics is just great. So if you have not had a chance to check it out, it's called Abbott Elementary, and it's actually shot in Philly as well in one of the schools. The school isn't actually Abbott Elementary, but also last thing about it, the woman who wrote it, her mother was retiring from teaching, and she was just saying some of the antics that her mom would share, and it was just her normal day. She didn't laugh about it, but her mom wasn't laughing when she was telling the story, but she was like, as she's listening, she's like, does she know how hilarious these stories are? So that's where the whole seed of the idea came from. So check it out, Abbott Elementary. I believe it comes on ABC. You're going to have to look up the time, but again, you can catch it on demand. Check it out. That is my girl, what's your story? I'm sticking with it, and I'm going to turn it over to one of you two to share what you've been up to.
Speaking of share, make sure y'all are sharing the show. It takes 2.5 seconds. Yes, yes, yes. Let's get some more comments going here. So Rachel apparently must have seen the show, Alisha, because she's saying that it is hilarious. You said it's on what ABC or NBC?
I think it's ABC if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
But also I think it's streaming on Hulu too. So if somebody have Hulu, it's on there too from what I've seen. But you can also do on demand. I did it on demand with Verizon.
Oh gosh, okay. I had to look at that, Rach. And so you said teachers have a life outside of the classroom. So she's a principal,
Mm-hmm.
and so she's like, man, sometimes I don't even like going. Ooh, so I'm putting her on blast, but she don't even like going to the grocery store sometimes because you never know if you're gonna run into a parent when you just trying to get some eggs. So it's like, let the teachers, let the principals live, y'all. They have a
Oh
life
goodness.
outside.
And shout out to Rachel because since she's seen the show, she would agree the principal on there is another level. Oh my goodness. I'm just gonna say that.
That's too
Love
funny.
it. You got to check it out.
She's talking about, yes, let me live. So where we at? Look, I'm about to say, tell me something good, Jesus. My something new. Okay. Girl, what's your story? Okay, let me get it together. Come on, Lord, I need your help. Girl, what's your story? Was who? So it was me, Jean, and then Mike came on Saturday. But we got an opportunity to celebrate a life. And I'm telling you, like, I was in awe, right? So I'm going to say that I went to the Nolan Whitman show. That's what we're going to call it, okay? Because it was standing room only. So I've never been to anything like that where people are standing against the walls. Like, it was almost like a concert, but it was just like, that's how impactful this young man was. And so it just was very inspirational, and literally, like, people didn't make a fuss about standing or anything like that. It just was so classy. And he just was so amazing. Like, I don't know if you know anybody who is like opposite ends of the spectrum. So he was a football player, but he also like bake. So it just was like a lot of cool things, like a lot of cool elements. So a lot of people, speaking of principals, his principal spoke, his football coach spoke. Like, all these people came for this one man, and it started to dawn on me that because a few days later, we celebrated MLK, and it just felt like he left such a amazing legacy in 18 years of life. And so just honoring MLK and some of the other greats that we know, it's almost like great people sometimes go young, but it's like they have more of an impact in their death almost than they do in their life. It's like I don't know, but it really was a celebratory moment. And so, of course, we shed some tears naturally, right? That's the human side of us, but it just was so beautiful to see so many people come together, have so many funny stories, so many inspirational stories. His mother, you talking about strength, Wendy, that girl is bad. Like, she is just so strong, and his brother, it just was amazing. That's really the word that sums it up, was amazing. And so yeah, we celebrated, and I, like, when I left, I literally was like, that was the Nolan Whitman show. Like, it was a show for real. So kudos to the family. We are family, so I definitely want you to just keep that family in prayer, and keep them lifted. But it was definitely a monumental moment, and one and a life worth celebrating. So I'm glad that I was able to attend and be with family. And you'd be surprised how being around family, church family, all of that helps in the process of grieving. So, and I did want to read one thing, because Aunt Linda is watching, and Aunt Linda sends us awesome inspirational messages every morning. And this one came through today, and I sent this over to Wendy, Nolan's mom. And it says, God has a reason for allowing things to happen. We may never understand his wisdom, but we simply have to trust his will. So, whoever that is for out there, thank you, Aunt Linda. That was very right on this morning. I did share it on over with a few people. So, that is my girl. What's your story? And I'm sticking to it.
Thank you for sharing that wonderful story. I always say, it's awesome when you're connected with great people and you can be a witness to their lives. Me and my husband always say that we're a witness to each other's lives. So when you get a chance to be connected to people and you see how their lives play out, it's amazing. Well, my girl, what's your story, is also like Alicia. I have been binge watching Celebrity Wife Swap. Okay. And I blame my husband because since he's been on break from school, because he's a teacher, and so he's had this whole couple weeks off, and so he's been putting different shows on, catching up on stuff that he's not able to watch when he's working. So Celebrity Wife Swap happened to be one of those shows. I was like, Lord, and I'm right there with them. And so you had Jackie Harry and her ex-husband swapped with another family. Oh my gosh, Layla Ali, she swapped. I mean, there were so many. Who else can Angie Stone. I mean, childhood stars, you name it. And it's so crazy because Lily was like, you really get to see how these people actually live. Like when you get that behind the scenes. And what's Jermaine Jackson, who was a hoarder. They call him the Hollywood hoarder because he had all these clothes and perfume, cologne stacked upon stack. It was crazy. And his situation was really severe because he had clothes and stuff in rooms where people supposed to be able to stay. So all of his rooms were packed with clothes. Like you couldn't invite nobody over. They're gonna sleep on the couch in the living room. And he got a big old house. So that show, it's really cool because it was also inspiring in terms of ways that I can implement some things for our family. And then it was a healthy way for me to see that we're already doing some things pretty okay. So it was pretty helpful. But yeah, celebrity house, no, wife swap. I'm getting tongue tied too. Celebrity wife swap. But that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
I
Girl.
love it. I love it. You know what? I watched those, but it's been a while, so they must be bringing them back again.
It's the reruns, though.
Yeah, yeah, okay. Oh my gosh.
The streaming apps, you can watch old shows. They put them up there from time to time.
Because I was like that one with Jack A. And like I said, it's been a while ago.
Yes.
I was like, Lord help me. She's a mess. I
Is she something?
was like, Lord help me. But I think that show is better than the ones where It's like the regular families, because you'll
Yeah,
end up with somebody who, live in a really nice home
I
going to a
agree.
farm. And it's like
Hmm.
I would watch those shows, like I could not do that. Like
Yeah.
nope, 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 nope. So
The celebrity wife swap is a lot more intriguing and exciting. It just
yeah,
is. I mean, because you see, like, and you'd be surprised how they live on different degrees of the
yes.
spectrum. You some live high on the hog, and some are just modest, and they have a nice little modest house.
Uh-huh.
It's crazy. So yeah.
Yeah. Cool beans.
Mhm. Y'all let
Awesome.
us know in the chat if you could swap and go to somebody else's house. Whether you married or not. It's like sometimes you just want to be in your own bed, in your own bathroom.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
I mean, I
goodness.
could do it for maybe 3 days. And then after that. So how long do they swap for?
I think it's a week.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I
okay.
think it's about
That's
a
not
week.
bad.
Hmm.
Yeah, so the first day or two, they're doing things the way that family does it. And then the rest of the week, the celebrity wife gets to make rules to do it the way she wants to do it. And so
Okay.
she's implementing new rules in their home.
Hmm.
Yeah.
That's where the challenge ends up coming in,
Right.
especially with the kids. They're like,
Oh
oh,
my
that's not
God.
how we do it.
Layla Ali's children, her one little daughter was like, no, no.
That
Love
is
it.
funny.
Oh, wonderful. Well, I'm excited about this next segment, and I'm going to kick it over to Naomi this time to kick us off.
Hey, 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 family. So, as Kadesha already mentioned in the beginning of the show, we're talking to you about planning for vacation. And this topic is very near and dear to my heart because, as the ladies know, my family and I, we always plan for our vacation every single year. And we always know exactly when we're going on vacation. And so all of our efforts goes towards that throughout the year as we're planning. We're working on where we want to stay, how much we want to spend on it, all of those good things like that. And so I'm excited that we're talking about this because I don't know about y'all, but I could use a vacay. I could use one right about now. But before we get into talking about some of the nice details of planning, I want us to do this exercise, especially because we're still in January and people are doing their vision boards and people are visualizing themselves in places, not just on vacation, but in all kinds of places. I want us to take the time to visualize ourselves on a vacation. And so this is an activity that all of you can participate in. Now, I am connected to some really, really awesome ladies who do visualizations, if I can say the word correctly, all the time. And they practice it. And so I've been in contact with them and they've been talking to me about the importance of visualization because what you can visualize yourself doing, you can manifest. And so that's what we want to do. We want to help you. So before we do that, I want to kind of get your creative juices flowing. So let me put up a couple of pictures just to get you ready to visualize where you want to go. Oh,
Ooh.
isn't that beautiful?
Mhm.
I think that's over in Italy. Then, or Greece. No, this is actually Greece. Wow, look at that beautiful, the water. And then we got the island. Ding, 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 ding. This is Albania, another place that has beautiful water. And okay, y'all gonna know which one this is. Patty, Patty, Patty. So I just wanted to show you those pictures to get your creative juices flowing. Now I want you all to close your eyes for a moment. And before you do this, you're going to take a deep breath in and you're going to exhale just to kind of clear your mind of everything. And now you're going to imagine yourself in a vacation spot of your choosing. Think about where you've always wanted to go. Visualize yourself packing, getting yourself ready, Visualize yourself at the airport. You're boarding the plane. Now you have arrived. The plane has landed and you've exited the airport and you're at your destination. Now imagine yourself there at your vacation destination, enjoying all of the scenery. Think about how the air smells. Think about the sounds you might be hearing. If you're at the beach, you're certainly hearing the waves crashing. If you're in Paris, you might be hearing some cars moving about and you're seeing high fashion people walking through the streets. For a moment, I'm going to be silent and just allow you to imagine yourself in your place, in your vacation spot. Three, two, one. And now you can open your eyes. Welcome back, y'all. Welcome back. How was your trip?
Excellent. I didn't want to come back.
I feel you, Kadesha.
Yes.
I'm still there.
Mm-hmm. And so that is visualization in a nutshell. Imagining yourself being in a place where you want to be for your vacation. And so, with that, I'm going to pass it on over to Kadesha to take us a little further with our planning.
Well, I'm glad you started with the visualization piece because I do believe that everything starts in our mind.
Yes.
So it's like we have to be able to see it before we can see it. um, so, honey, I done saw my little white sand, so I got to get to the white sand.
Yes, yes.
Yes, that was good. Thank you for walking us through that, Naomi.
You're very welcome.
But I just want to talk to you about, the importance of planning. And that's actually something they teach us at Keller Williams is every year plan your vacation. Like put it in your schedule. Allocate time for your vacations, plural, because it is important for you to have that time set aside. So I appreciate you and your family, Naomi, because you guys are very intentional about taking those vacations at certain parts of the year. One thing I don't think we did a lot of as I was growing up, but now we're doing more of that, now that we're all grown and we're able to vacation together. So I kudos to you for you guys for serving as an inspiration to people who are, watching. But it is important to plan. Benjamin Franklin says it best, where if you fail to plan, you are planning to fail. So in this case, if you fail to plan your vacation, guess what? More than likely, you're not going to take one. So it's important that we be intentional at the top of the year or even before the top of the year to plan those areas in which you want to visit and the times, particularly if you have kids, your kids are out of school at certain times, or if you have anniversaries or birthdays that you want to celebrate, then you can, that doesn't change. Your birthday doesn't change, your anniversary, those things don't change. So you can plan around those if you so desire. I actually have a trip planned and I'm like, what is going to happen? I don't know. I got to make sure we can still travel for my birthday coming up next month. And so who knows what it's going to look like. I'm just going to trust God with it. But I did plan it a few months ago. Thank God for low plane tickets at the time. So that helped in the planning. But nonetheless, it is important to plan and to write these things out because statistics tell us that you're 42% more likely to achieve a goal when you have written it down. So if you write out your goals at the beginning of the year saying, hey, in 2022, I want to go to X, Y, and Z. If you have written it down, you have 42% on your side. So this session tonight, we want to encourage you to start planning that, particularly if you are on the East Coast with us. Honey, I'm telling you, trying to get up out of the snow as fast as possible. Like who even has time for shoveling? Who does that? Like, where do they do that at? I need my feet in the sand somewhere. That's my preference when I vacation. I like to be in the sun. I'm sure my mother-in-law, she was oohing and ahhing as you were showing those pictures, Naomi. So she shares that same sentiment. We are the Black girls that like to get tans. Okay. So that's us. But yeah, so take some time out of the next few weeks to make sure you're planning. And even if it's not far, right? So I know some people may not have that comfort level, but some staycation of some sort. I was reading from an article on brain and behavior found the Brain and Behavior Foundation, and it says this is actually scary. It says research shows that Americans work more than people in any country in the industrialized world. We work more. And we take less vacation, work longer days, and retire later in life. And this is supposed to be the good life that we're living, the American dream, right? But we're working the whole dream. And so all of these, this is what it says. All of these factors combined provide for a perfect stress storm. So if you're looking for some stress, then continue to work day in and day out, take less vacation, etc. And of course, we've talked about this in previous shows where there's a correlation between stress and your physical and mental well-being and things of that nature. So we know that stress contributes to the way that our body feels, high blood pressure, heart disease, sleep problems, all of that can go on and on. So this show that we're giving you tonight is important because it's important for us to all to remember, speaking to myself, that we need to take time to recharge and reset and refresh and be refreshed, right? So often we're refreshing others, but we need to be sure that we're refreshing ourselves as well. And so in order to avoid all of this stress that they're talking about here, we need to take time out to vacation. And even in the midst, I'm going to encourage you, even in the midst of this pandemic, find a way to find a vacation, a small vacation. If that I see Aunt Linda saying hers is February 3rd. Where are you going, Aunt Linda? You said that's her birthday?
That's her birthday. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Happy early birthday. But yeah, staycation is fine. The blessing about being on the East Coast, because we lived everywhere, but being on the East Coast, you can really get in your car and drive somewhere and be in a different state. And that, I think, is one of the benefits of the pandemic. It has made us realize how many gems we actually have here in the United States, because some people aren't ready to go outside of the country, and that's perfectly fine. But there's so many awesome states. There's Virginia. I'm hearing that West Virginia is a nice place. We have Pennsylvania, and depending, if you don't want to be in the sand like I do, you can go be in the Poconos, be in the mountains, and that's even more refreshing and can be relaxing as well. But it is important for you to take time to vacation. I want to give you these 4 things that they gave us on this article, that a reason why we need to vacation. And the first thing it says was stress reduction, which I just mentioned. But the second thing it says is vacations can cut your risk for a heart attack. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't need to be at no risk for nobody's heart attack. Okay. So if that means I need to go on a vacation, sign me up yesterday. The other thing it says it improves productivity, which I can definitely bear witness to. Going away, being outside of your element. I've had a coach say this at one time. Sometimes when you start to lose focus throughout the day, it's important to change up the rhythm and the flow. So definitely for me, when I go outside, that helps. Even changing rooms. Like sometimes I'm in my office. I actually just started really working in my office more. A lot of times I will work at my dining room table. It just depends how the creativity flows, but it is important to change the rhythm of things, right? So maybe have music in the background, etc. But the point is, going away can help you improve your productivity. So that means you're going to be better for your boss, you're going to be better for your clients, you're going to be better for yourself. The last thing it says, which I had no problem with this, honey, is better sleep. And so I was talking to a client the other day. He said, you sure are busy. Every time I'm talking to him, I'm in the car. He said, I bet you don't have no problem sleeping that night. Sure don't. But you have better sleep when you vacation. And so just yesterday, actually, I went to the nail shop. I had to get a nail fix. And so I actually was a little, I guess, perturbed for having to go back to fix my nail. And I'm like, Lord, should I try a new nail shop? Blah blah blah. I'm going through all this in my head, and so I went like fairly late, right before closing. But she told me, well, I texted her, and she said, oh yeah, we could fix it. So anyway, I get in there. And my girl, the owner wasn't there. So her husband, he was like, oh, come in, I'll fix you up. So we're just kind of chilling. And then all of a sudden he's like, yeah, my wife is away. She's in Florida. Now, mind you, I've only been going to the nail shop maybe 3 months or so, give or take, maybe longer than that. But I know enough that I know that she never vacations. Like they work all the time. And so he proceeded to tell me that they work 7 days a week and, sharing with me because I had, she had shared with me before during the pandemic, the landlord wasn't really like cutting them a break. And so they're in a very prime location. So prime location means high rent. And the rent, y'all, is over $6,000 that they pay a month, right? So he said, we work 7 days. So I wanted my wife to take a vacation. I told her, don't worry, don't stress, we got it. So she's still texting and trying to figure things out while she away, right? So he showed me the pictures of her in Florida, and I'm like getting choked up and teary-eyed because, they do work hard. Just like what this article was telling us, they work day in and day out to sustain their business, their family. And so I was so excited, one, that I decided to go back and not switch nail shops, but like that she was able to get away, right? And so that's important because what the husband said, he was like, when you go away, in his little accent, when you go away, you release energy. And so, you come back different, basically, is what he was saying. And so we was just able to vibe off of that. And I'm like, how powerful is that? And how timely, right? That we were talking about vacations today. But so I texted her and I told her have a good time and how awesome her husband was. But we need to get away. Like everything will be okay the family will be okay. The businesses will figure it out. Like everybody will figure it out while we're gone. And so I think it's important for us to be intentional, but also we have to set the standard and set the expectation for people that we serve and do life with, that vacation is a part of my lifestyle. So this is where I'm going to be during this time. And my mother-in-law talking about 6,000 a month. Absolutely, honey. I was thanking God so much. I'm like, I don't even know how. I can't even imagine 6,000 paying 6,000 a month. I'm just so grateful. So you never know what other people's story is, but bringing it all in, we need to vacation so we reduce stress, cut the risk for heart attack, improve our productivity, and sleep good at night. So I just want to give you a few vacation spots. I'm gonna make it real quick. For 2022, according to CNN Travel, it was Antigua and Barbados, or no, Antigua and Barbuda, excuse me, for number one. And Antigua is really nice. We've been there. There's another one. I'm gonna probably butcher this, but it's Basagos Islands in Guinea. So that's off of the west. That's in Western Africa. Then there was Nova Scotia. Actually, I think the comedian that I can't, Belinda, I think she's from Nova Scotia in Canada. And I feel like there was one more, but that's the top three for now. So Antigua, Basagos Islands, and Nova Scotia. So where y'all going and when we going?
I love it. That was good. That was really good. I've been to Antigua as well. It was on a cruise, one of the ports on the cruise. So yeah, it was really nice there. But yeah, as you were talking, it's like, whoo, you preaching my story. I mean, prior to the pandemic, traveling was regular. But I'm gonna be honest, last year it didn't even cross my mind. Like, I don't care that I'm not going anywhere. I'm fine. being home. But now this year, I'm starting to feel the rumblings like, okay, it is time to kind of get back out there. So we shall see what that will look like. We will see. But I'm starting to get the rumblings back because it was every year, but it's important. And you mentioned with us, the US being so work related. I know when I was in corporate, working as an engineer, our counterparts, we had counterparts in Belgium, and they would take a whole month off. And it was like, I don't care what program, what project we all have going with the States, it shuts down there. So we really are a different breed here. And I think it's even worse now because of when you work from home now, because of the pandemic, people working from home, there's really no boundary as to work is supposed to stop. So I'm sure the numbers are looking even more crazy as a result of that. So, yeah,
And
that
you're
was
right. I mean, different cultures, like when I was in Costa Rica, we had something called Tika time. So it's like to get on time is not what they do. They're just more relaxed and more go with the flow. And that's a lot in different, we call them third world countries, but apparently they have something over us that they've learned to practice peace, whereas we haven't. So, yeah, I think I'm a Costa Rican by nature.
You were born in the wrong country.
I think so. I think so.
Well, y'all, we gotta talk about this packing. I know. So we done showed y'all some vacation spots, told y'all about some vacation spots, had y'all visualize yourselves in the vacation spots. However, you gotta pack and get ready. And I know for a lot of people, that packing part is a little daunting. So I want to give you some tips to try to simplify it a bit. I know for me, when I travel, I have to pack for four, for my husband, myself, and my two children. And now that they're older, they can sort of do that kind of stuff themselves. But for those of us who still have to pack for ourselves and you don't have concierge service or a butler yet, let me help you out. So I want to give you 14 genius packing tips to help you travel like a pro. And so I'm not going to give you all 14, but the article that I'm using gives you 14. I'm just going to give you a few. So some of you might be familiar with this one. Roll clothes and pack them first. So I've practiced doing this, and my husband too, because he is military. He's a veteran. And so they teach them in the military to roll their clothing very tightly and pack them so that way you have more space in your suitcase. So many of us only fold and then put our stuff in the suitcase. However, rolling gives you a little bit more leeway. And for those of us who like to pack like 3 or 4 or 5 outfits per day because you like to switch it up, this is definitely going to be for you. You're going to need to take advantage of this. And so then we have another one. Choose travel friendly fabrics. Ugh. Fabrics. Choose travel friendly fabrics. That's a tongue twister. If you try to say that a whole bunch of times fast, you're going to get tripped up. But anyway, you want to pack things that don't require a lot of ironing. So maybe some spandex type things, t-shirts, things that are wrinkle free, because once you get the rolling and folding, that stuff is going to get wrinkled on you. And then once you get to your destination, you're hoping and praying that they have an iron in the room or at least a steamer or something. So definitely try to get some fabrics that are easy for travel. I like that one myself. Also, pack the first outfit you'll want to wear on top. So this has to do more about making sure your items are in order. So if you're going to, for me, I usually travel with the clothes that I'm going to travel back in. So if it's a sweatsuit, that same sweatsuit is the sweatsuit that I wear when I'm traveling back. So that leaves out me having to pack a whole other outfit. I mean, who's going to see me, especially if I'm riding on, I'm probably going to be on the plane with a whole different group of people anyway, going and coming. So it doesn't even matter. So I kind of like to have like a travel sweatsuit. But however, in this case, whatever your clothings are, try to pack them in order in the days that you want to wear them. And that might be hard for us who, again, who like to wardrobe change several times throughout the vacation day. Okay, so then place heavy items at the base. So that would be your shoes, maybe some toiletries or things like that. Anything that has some weight to it. This article is saying to place it at the bottom of your suitcase versus on top. And it'll be a lot easier for you to pack those clothing on the top of those heavier items if you do it that way. I tell you, when I was reading this, I said, oh my, this is helping me. Okay, layer plastic dry cleaning bags between clothes. Okay, so that's a little bit different. I guess if you want to protect them, if some clothing have dye on them, so your jeans sometimes can rub off on other clothing, or if you have some white items that you don't want other clothing to mingle with, this definitely would be something that you want to do. So go ahead and get you some plastic dry cleaning bags so you can layer them between your clothing. I'm going to give you just a few more before we wrap it up. Use packing cubes. Now, these you can get, it's called, they have this one called Equals Creek set or something like that. But these packing cubes actually allow you to condense your things and to make your packing lightweight instead of using suitcases. So these packing cubes are a different spin on suitcases. So it's like a vinyl kind of material. It's not hard on the outside. It's more so like a plastic kind of vinyl feel. And you pack it just like you would your suitcase, except you have a handle on it like that, and you just carry it like that. So for some of you who don't want to be dragging and rolling the suitcase, that might be an option for you. Okay, this one says avoid over or underpacking. Now, I don't know how you're going to do that. That's kind of hard. My spin on it would be at least you got to change your clothes at least once a day. Okay. You can't wear the same outfit the whole time you're there. So that one's a little subjective. I wouldn't expect you all to take that one too much to heart. And finally, get an extra tote for souvenirs. So, you know how we always leave with way more than we went with. So, you might want to plan for that and pack a tote, fold it up, and put the tote in your suitcase. And then you can pull that tote out and put all your souvenirs in. And then that way you don't have to go and buy extra luggage while you're on vacation. And so that's it. I don't have any more to give you, but that is all I got for you. Hopefully, those tips will help you while you're packing for your next vacation.
I love it. Those were good. Actually, the dry cleaner bag, I
Yeah.
use that for my hanging stuff when I use the garment bag. So
Oh,
I'll put
yeah.
the outfits in that and it protects it. But I'm definitely one of those ones where the rolling that kind of gets to me because of actually it shouldn't bother me too much because I still iron. I always iron when I get there. Sometimes it depends on if I get there early enough, I may iron the stuff up and hang it up so that I'm able to grab it. But I am definitely an overpacker. I am not the underpacker. I'm the one where you see them with the two bags and then the thing. Yeah, that's. I
Well, at
just like
least
to
you
be
know
prepared.
yourself. That's the important thing. At least you know
Yes.
yourself so you can plan and prepare your packing. Whereas if a person is in denial and they say, "Oh, I don't pack a lot," and then next time, and then when you see them, they rolling 5 bags, and like, where you taking that? Where that's going? Especially if you're riding carpooling. Like, okay, now you knew all 5 of us was gonna be in this van together. You ain't had to bring 10 bags.
Yes, I am not the one to be with. Oh gosh, I love it. I love it. Those were good. Woohoo.
Thank you.
All righty. Well, We done got you visualizing where you're going and the places to go, and also how to pack so you can get there. Well, we got to talk about the money. How does it? How can you actually pay for it? And this is like my lane. I love anything money, so I was happy to get this assignment. So we're going to talk about ways to save for vacation, but I just want to um, kind of break it down. You know me with my acronyms, just four things when it comes to the things we should do or can do when it comes to saving. And we're going to use SAVE, SAVE. So the first thing is select a destination and a travel date. That's going to be the beginning. That's why we started off with the visualization. But again, you got to know where you're going and when you're going, because now you'll be able to backtrack to see how many weeks or months, or depending on the type of vacation, you may be saving for a year or two if it's a big grand vacation. So again, you'll know how much time you have to save for it. The A is add up the costs. You can't just willy nilly say, I'm going to go somewhere, but yeah, you got to think about what are you going to spend money on. So we talk about transportation. Are you going to drive? Are you going to fly? Maybe you want to take the rail, take the train. Whatever way you're going to get there, you have to factor that in. And also, when you get to your destination, are you going to need a rental car? So you need to take into account, how much is it going to cost for that? And then take into account lodging. Where are you going to stay? Are you going to do the hotel, Airbnb? Are you going to, depending on where you're going, maybe you have friends or relatives there and you're going to crash there, but you got to figure out where you're going to stay and how much that's going to cost. Of course, you're going to have to eat. So what is your food budget? How much you going to have set aside for that? And then we talk about, Naomi mentioned packing a bag for souvenirs. Are you going to buy souvenirs? Definitely for yourself, buy yourself a little something. And then also family members and friends. But also the other thing is entertainment. If you're going to one of those areas where, it's touristy and there may be some different, what's the word I'm looking for, sightseeing venues, make a budget for that. So you want to make sure you cover every single thing, and any miscellaneous expenses that may come up, tipping, things of that nature. So you want to cover every dollar, because you don't want to shortchange yourself when it comes to having that vacation of a lifetime. The V is for vow to save on a regular basis. And this makes it painless, because if you know how many months you have before you're actually going to travel, now you could put away the appropriate amount so that when it's time for you to go, you're ready to go. You're not stressing about the money. And the E is for enjoy your savings journey. Look at that account, whatever where you're putting that money away, look at how you're progressing in terms of the money growing. And that's what I mean by enjoy it. Regularly look at what your savings vehicle is doing, and what it'll do is it will propel you to continue on. So I want to give you some painless ways to actually save. And Naomi is going to help me with this. The first visual is the 52-week challenge. Some people call these hacks, some easy ways to be able to save. And I wanted to start with this one because when a lot of people think about savings plans, some people mention the 52-week money challenge. And basically it's taking into account you're saving for whatever that goal is. And in this case, we're going to use that trip, that vacation, over a year's time. And the 52 weeks is taken into account. We have 52 weeks in a year. And what you're saving is the amount of that week. So on week 1, you would save $1. Week 2, you would save $2. All the way on, let's say week 10, you're going to put away $10. All the way on to week 52, you will put away $52 for that week. And over the course of a year, you've actually saved $1,378. So when you think about it, that's kind of painless. Now, some people may say as you get to those last few weeks, it may be a little challenging. So that's one way to save the $1,300. Let's look at another way. And this is what we're going to call the $1,300 savings challenge. So if you can't see it, I'm going to kind of piece you through it. But let me just say this. If any of these savings challenges you would like, you can always email us at info@wisdomonthewall.com and we'll get it over to you, because I know from we have a little technical difficulty to be able to kind of make it a little bigger. But with the $1,300 savings challenges, it's for that person who may say, it'll take me $1,300 to do what I want to do. as you figure out where you're going. And instead of doing the 52-week, where you may say, you know what, just give me one figure to put away every week that works for me. So if you put away $25 a week, by the end of the year, you will save $1,300. So for somebody that may be easier, where you think $25 a week, I could put that away. And this is not taken into account if you put it in an account that's going to give you some amount of interest. Now, in the environment we're in right now, there's not going to be a whole lot of interest, but you can make some money off of your money that you're saving. So that's the $1,300 savings challenge. Now, some people may be similar to me. I am motivated by short-term money. Like, I like to see something quickly. So I have a couple of 30-day challenges. So some people may say, I don't want to wait a whole year. Maybe, I'm looking at a couple months to go away or whatever. But the first one is the we're going to start with the Save the Day savings plan. So the Save the Day savings plan, and again, act like you can see it really big. But in this case, we're looking at 30 days. And when you look at it, you're going to save the day of the month that you're actually saving. So day one of your savings challenge, you're going to put away $1. Day two, $2. Day three, $3, all the way up to day 30. You will put away $30. Now, again, that's the day. You would save $465. Now, for some people, you could do it, if you think about what you probably spend money on. But some other people may say, Alisha, you a little crazy here. When you were doing the single digits, that was fine. But when you start to get in $20 a day, then the next day, $21 a day, that might be a little too much. So let's look at the 10-day savings plan. So when we talk about the 10-day savings plan, this is looking at you not putting more than $10 away a day. Okay. So in the 30-day time frame, we'll have 3 10-day series. So again, day one, you will put away $1. Day two, $2. Day three, $3. All the way up to day 10, you will put away $10. So one thing I want to point out, in that 10-day period, you would have saved $55. So that's the one thing. Now, your next 10 days, you're going to start back at $1. So you put away $1 on day 11, day 12, $2, day 20, you're putting away $10. So at that point, you're at $110. The last 10-day cycle of the 30-day, again, you're going to do that $1. And by the end of the month, you would have saved $165. Now, it's not $465, but it's a lot more than if you did nothing. Okay. And you could do that over maybe a 2-month period, or if you're doing something like a quick jaunt, kind of like with Kadesha talking about going away for a birthday, that maybe give you something that you could do maybe for some spending money or what have you. But I just wanted to give you a series of things to kind of work through. I really enjoy these. I play around with them right now. I'm personally doing the 15-day. But in the interest of time, it'll end up with $240 at the end of 30 days. So you can use any of these. You can Google savings plans, and you'll come up with all kinds that you can utilize. But I say, find a plan that works for you, stick to it, and then you'll be able to go onto your vacay money worry free. And that's what we want. We want to be able to enjoy. So hopefully you got some nuggets out of that that'll help you as you save for your vacation.
That was good. I'm over here looking for a piggy bank. Like, when can I start? Because for me, I like to see it build up in front of me. Because it's one thing to have it in the account. We all can do that. But it's like, I like to see it. So I'm like, where is the piggy bank up in here? So I'm excited because that just, again, is saving something versus nothing. Because the dollar, Mike was laughing at me the other day because I'm like, I see all these quarters and pennies. He's like, dang, you struggling? I'm like, no, I like loose change. But it's like, we don't sometimes underestimate the value of $1.
Yes, absolutely. So, it adds up.
Honey, what? And yes, I posted it in the chat. Y'all make sure you budget for your tips, okay? Because you got to tip the lady cleaning your room. You want to tip the people, your waitress, your servers. You want to bless people. We're blessed to be a blessing. So go ahead.
The ones carrying all of your bags, like in my case.
Honey, I know my mom texting me now talking about you always overpacking 10 bags. I'm like, Mom, But that was really good. Thank you so much. And I'm glad that I have access via email to that. So I will be printing those out. So y'all look, we done came, we done conquered, and we told you how to visualize, we told you the importance of planning, we showed you some places to go, you know how to pack better, now you know how to save. It's all done. It's all done. So we appreciate you tuning in. Yes, we gave you our wisdom nuggets, honey. We are here. This episode, When Wisdom Talks, was brought to you by Wisdom on the Wall Inc. and Be Inspired Global. We want you to meet us next Thursday, same time, same place. Until then, stay safe, stay blessed, and stay in faith and plan your vacation.
See ya.
Have a good night.